Tonight, it's a case with so many unanswered questions. What happened to Harmony Montgomery?
She's out there somewhere.
The disturbing details revealed as investigators plead for your help.
Sadly, this year, this new year, 2022, we're ushering in the year with another tragic case, another senseless case, one that sounds like it could have been avoided, that slipped through the cracks of people who were supposed to be looking out for their children. Now, one thing that stands out about this case is that this child has been missing for more than 2 years, but was just recently reported missing. Now, who we're talking about today is Harmony Montgomery. Harmony Montgomery is the daughter of Adam Montgomery and Crystal Soray. Her stepmother is Kayla Montgomery, and we're going to talk about all of them in just a moment. Harmony is 7 years old and is visually impaired in one eye. Harmony is described as white, about 4 feet tall, and 50 pounds, with blonde hair, blue eyes, and glasses. So the office of Manchester Mayor Joyce Gregg received an email regarding some concern over Harmony, the Department of Children and Welfare Services, about her well-being, where she's at, all that kind of stuff. Now, in turn, they looked at this and then they alerted proper authorities to go check things out. Now, Harmony was in foster care for most of her childhood, and she would look over her brother Jameson while she was there. Now, there's a gentleman by the name of Blair Miller. Now, he is a Cox Media reporter, and he actually ended up adopting Jameson, the brother. Now, according to Mr. Miller, he said by the time it came, for him to adopt the brother, he was told by state officials that, Harmony has been reunited with her biological father. Now, that didn't stop him, though, from trying to reunite the two. So, Mr. Miller and his husband have been trying to get Jameson as well as Harmony back in touch with each other. Now, they would reach out to Crystal, the biological mother, trying to do this. But anytime they would, she was like, look, you know what? Harmony is with her father in New Hampshire. And even Crystal would say, you know what? I'm worried about her. I've had a near impossible time getting hold of her. And just things weren't adding up with that. Not saying that Crystal was lying or anything like that, but saying that she too was expressing concern over, where's Harmony? I can't get a hold of her. Things aren't making sense. So November 18th, Crystal contacted the Manchester police. She said she hadn't seen Harmony in at least 6 months. However, later Crystal would say that it had actually been more like April 2019 when she saw her on a video call. Now, Crystal would tell the police, when I did see her on this video call, she seemed frightened. Things didn't seem right. So on December 27th, the New Hampshire Division for Children, Youth, and Families reported that they hadn't been able to get in contact with her or put their fingers on Harmony. Now, the police chief, Alan Aldenberg, would tell reporters, look, the last confirmed sighting we have of her is October 2019. This apparently is when some officers went to the last known location of her to do a service call. So now let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into some of what's going on with guardians, things of this nature. So, Adam Montgomery. We have a few things to talk about him. So obviously he has been arrested. Now, he hasn't been arrested in regards to he's responsible for her disappearance yet, right? All this is, alleged and this kind of stuff, but he has been arrested in some other charges related to things that have gone on with her.
Tonight, this little girl's father faces charges not in connection with her disappearance, but of abuse.
So when he was arrested, police had approached him. He was sleeping in a car with his girlfriend at the time, and police were basically like, he made some contradictory statements that did not sound good. So he told his estranged wife, Kayla, we'll talk about her in a few minutes, he had told her that he drove Harmony to Soray to be with her. But he told the police that Soray had come and picked Harmony up. So all this was like, it wasn't adding up. And at the end of the day, no one can put their fingers on Harmony. So it's not adding up at all. Now, what also doesn't make matters good is that when police did, point blank ask him, like, where's Harmony? He was like, I don't have anything to say to you. And he didn't want to talk about it. So, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the recent arrest charges. I'm going to refer to my notes over here for a moment. So Adam Montgomery, he's 31. He was arrested Tuesday in Manchester on a charge of felony second-degree assault for alleged conduct against Harmony Montgomery. Now, this stemmed from 2019. He also is facing misdemeanor counts of interference with custody and endangering the welfare of a child. Now, the assault charge that he's facing stems from a 2019 incident with Harmony. So she has a great uncle, and the great uncle is basically like, I saw a huge black eye on this girl, and Adam basically told me he bashed her around the house after she was like unable to keep her brother quiet when he was, crying or something to that effect.
I walked in the house and Harmony had a black eye like you see in a boxing match between two men.
Adam's uncle, Kevin Montgomery, questioned him back in the summer of 2019 when he said he saw Harmony with a black eye.
He bashed her around the apartment, kind of with his exact words.
According to court documents, the uncle also says he observed other forms of abusive discipline, including Harmony forced to stand in the corner for hours and told to scrub the toilet with her toothbrush.
Now, here's the other thing. He has like a huge history of very bad charges, okay? I'm talking stabbings, shootings, drug dealings. He is a very violent, angry person who cannot seem to stay out of trouble. Now, this is the part that to me is just like, what? So the biological mother, she lost custody of Harmony due to substance abuse problems. Now, that it is what it is. I'm not saying it about that. What shocks me about this is that Adam Montgomery, was granted full custody of this child. That's the part that I'm like, I mean, looking at his record, I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, I couldn't believe it, but whatever. So there's that. Now, let's talk about her stepmother, Kayla, who is Adam's estranged wife. Now, Kayla Montgomery has also been charged with some things as well. So Kayla's been charged with welfare fraud, basically from collecting food stamps for Harmony while Harmony wasn't even living with her and while she wasn't even living with Adam anymore. Like, she was still like filing Harmony on the sheet, whatever it is that you do to get these, and collecting like tons of money in the name of Harmony. Now, also back in 2021, Kayla's mother filed a restraining order against Adam. There was like this whole thing where Adam was like hanging around the house and being like super shady, just doing some really weird, creepy stuff. And she had to call police, her boyfriend, to come make sure he wasn't hiding out. They ended up finding a knife in the ground where he was kind of like hiding out or whatever. So again, this guy's trouble. Okay, now, does this mean that he is guilty in what's happened to his daughter? No, we don't know this yet, but I mean, things are not looking good. We've seen so many of these cases like this, and the fact that he's being shady about, not wanting to talk about where she is, the fact that she has been missing for 2 years, the fact that he was given custody of this poor little thing just absolutely blows my mind. So let's talk about the search for a minute.
Manchester police searched the home they believe was the last location 7-year-old Harmony lived before her disappearance in late 2019.
So on the 2nd, the police searched this house, basically like the last known whereabouts of her. Now, the house has since been sold, so the people who are living there have like literally nothing to do with this case. So they have not done anything to Harmony. They are innocent bystanders, right? So obviously they are cooperating and they're saying, yes, come in, search backyard, what do we got to do? So the police were seen there, they were setting up tents, and they were apparently like heating the ground and thawing the ground to possibly dig, I believe. Now, also the last 3 days, the 9th, 10th, I believe today's the 11th, over the weekend, today's Monday, so they concluded the search today. So they kept searching, like I said, they brought in things that looked like they were thawing the ground. They were doing the x-raying the ground, things of this nature. Now, they did wrap up the search. Now, what I can understand from what I've read, and again, we don't have all the information yet, is that, nothing was basically found. Like, they're not saying, oh, we found something that's telling us where she's at, that kind of thing. So we're still kind of holding tight for that. Now, I'm going to put down in the description box phone numbers to call if you have any information, anything at all. Maybe you've seen her, maybe you know the whereabouts, or even if you don't think you do, but you might know something. It's always great to at least call, so that they can hopefully bring her home and find out exactly what happened to her. Again, I think this is a tragic case because here, the Sofa Squad, true crime people, we follow these cases. We see this time and time and time again. The same type things where these children slip through the cracks. you know, there's all these programs, there's all these people, there's all these services in place that it just doesn't seem to work out a lot of times, and it's really unfortunate. And this feels like another one. Again, hopefully, you know, she's somewhere. One thing that this reminded me of, to be quite honest, is the Orrin and Orson case. Because when I was reading this and the whole thing of she hasn't been reported missing, she's been gone for how long? Because if you followed that case, remember, that's still ongoing. Hopefully this will not be that same way. Hopefully this has a different outcome. So we're just going to stay tuned and see. I wanted to go and just kind of hit some main points of stuff that I was seeing, confirmed, that kind of thing, because this was very confusing to me when I started reading through it and tried to piece together, okay, who is this and who adopted who and who did this and who was the mother and da-da-da-da-da. So hopefully this makes some sense of it for people. I know a lot of people have been asking me what I think of it. Obviously, my heart goes out to her. I hope that she is reunited with, you know, her brother, with the parents that loved her, and I hope that if her father, her biological father, whoever had something to do with this, is held accountable. I think it's a real sad day that every adult attached to her, I'm mostly speaking for the father and the stepmother, failed her on such a level, but also the exploitation. I mean, the food stamp thing, really? I mean, come on, you know, that's just really bad taste right there. So anyways, that's it. Let me know what you think. Again, contact those phone numbers if you have any information, and until we gather back here at the old sofa, I'll talk to y'all soon.